Well, happy Halloween. This is the third installment of my Halloween videos I've been producing. And today we're going up to Pilot Mound to meet Tricia. And Tricia, like Karen and Davis, has a real passion for Halloween. So we're going to have a little chat with her. Her and her husband Vern are relatively newcomers to Pilot Mound. And they've become very well known for their yard in Pilot Mound. So in the meantime, like I say, right now I'm wearing a Star Trek outfit. Couple of really love that episode. Couple of things that come to mind are live long and prosper, and the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Happy Halloween, and we'll catch you at the end. So welcome, I'm Greg, and I'm here with Tricia Dano, and we kind of met because of the fella in the background behind us. I was on the back of the sanitary truck, or the garbage truck as some people might call it, and you were having problems with him, but you guys have a phenomenal yard here in Pilot Mound, and I was hoping you could maybe, first of all, tell me how you got involved with all this kind of stuff. You must have a real passion for Halloween.
It's my favorite holiday. Well, Christmas and Halloween is always really big for me. So as soon as I'm done Halloween, everything goes down and Christmas stuff goes up the next day. But I've been doing this for, I'm going to say 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Did you get scared as a kid and really liked it? Or?
I don't know. I've just always loved Halloween. And as soon as I got my first house, I just started decorating. And then every year after that, it was more and more stuff and more and more stuff. And
you've been in Pilot Mound now for at least 3 years
now.
3 years now.
This is my third year, I think, my third Halloween here.
Yeah. What are some of the reactions you get from people when they're coming by?
I actually was nervous because we were coming to a new town. We didn't know anybody here. Yeah. So when we bought the house, the first thought I had was how big the backyard was and how much stuff I could put in there. But we ended up putting all the stuff in the front at the first couple of years.
Yeah.
The first thing I put up was the moon that my son and I created a few years ago. I bought it off of a friend of mine, just the moon. It was at a social for a prop.
Yeah.
So he painted that, and then we kind of just went from, I put that up and everybody loved it. And that's kind of how I started. That's how I introduced my Halloween stuff, and after that everybody just seemed to appreciate it.
And you know, the house really works well for that, doesn't it? So tell me, okay, so just go through stuff, Tricia.
So this guy I've had for a couple of years. This is my 12-foot skeleton. The witch I got this year, and she's supposed to be freestanding on the ground, kind of like this, about that high.
Yeah.
But as soon as I seen it, I was like, it's going on my roof. So it took us a whole day, to rig that up there so it would stay. The carriage I built by myself here this summer.
This is phenomenal. This is something new. And I know when I talked to you last time, I was supposed to bring you some reins, but I've seen you gone way ahead of me.
I just went and grabbed some rope and just figured it out.
Maybe start with the horses and stuff. Like, what do we got? Like, I have no idea how you even start with some of this stuff.
Well, actually, Home Depot is really good for so the horses turn on. Almost everything turns on. I had one already. That's my older one. I've had it for probably, I'm going to say 7-8 years. And I found this one on Facebook Market, and I just went and picked it up in Brandon.
Wow.
So then that's when I got the idea of the carriage, They have, Home Depot in the US has a lot of really cool props, and they're getting bigger and bigger every year. But we don't get the same stuff here. But they had a carriage, a hearse carriage.
Okay.
I really wanted, and they only come out once, and then you'll never get them again.
So you built this.
I built it.
Walk me through that, Tricia. Like, walk me through.
First, me and my grandson drove all over southern Manitoba looking for these. And I didn't realize that these were, people really want them.
Yes.
And in antique, and I thought, I'll find them in a junkyard or something. We had to search for a long time because they were actually very expensive. I ended up paying $160 for the 4, which was a good deal. And that's how it started.
And I'll just maybe interject because I know what those are. Like, those are the old wheels off of hay racks and different implements from when they were actually horse-drawn. So so that's how it started. We bought 2 pairs, brought them home. I had some pipes here already, and just and they're just steel, like and I just put on whatever fasteners. They can roll. I can move it. I've moved it from back there all the way up to here. Mm-hmm. That is Lycran I've had for, about 8 years, and he's kind of falling apart now. I try really hard to keep them together, but they're not built the greatest. His head fell down over a windstorm here last year, and so the head used to howl, and it stands really high. One of his legs broke this year, so I was pretty disappointed. I didn't have a lot of time, but I'm going to try to fix it. But you know what? He fits very well on top of the
so I said, I'll put
him
up there. We can still use them.
Yeah.
And then I had scrap wood, and I just started building. And then I found, again, I didn't know how much, what are these? Plexiglass.
Plexiglass, yeah.
They're like $300 a sheet. I was like, I can't afford $300 a sheet. Looked on Facebook Market, found a couple of sheets for $100 each, so I grabbed them. So this was probably my most expensive prop I built this year, besides buying the props, but this is one I built.
Yeah.
And then
so when you've got, so this is your hearse, and you've got a skeleton in there, and I'm going to come back at night. We talked about that, and I'm assuming that you would have some lights, different places.
It's lit up in there already. I have it lit up all the time. So this is all going orange in here at nighttime.
Yep.
So you can see the guy. And then going this way.
And just before you leave, I want to just mention one thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have the Sasquatch here that's here year-round.
Yeah. And I dress him up. I don't know what costume he's going in this year. Last year he was a pirate, I think.
So you dress him up for the Halloween?
I dress him up for all the occasions.
But he's permanent edition there. He's just there. Yeah.
And that was totally an impulse buy. I was driving down Route 90, Oak Bluff, the statue place there.
It's not there anymore. It's moved or it's gone?
They sold it.
Yeah, okay.
So it was funny because my husband said, there's a Sasquatch statue in the bush. And I was like, no, there's not. He goes, there was. We turned around, we went back in. Sure enough, it was in the bush. And I went inside and asked the guy how much the statue was. And he said he had 2 of them. And he told me, those are the only 2 statues I have for sale in the whole park. Because he was listing his business and he had to have a mold of everything that he carried. This was the only mold he didn't have. He ordered it. So I just took it. I loaded it up on the truck and took it home.
Wow, that's
And then
perfect.
I got here and I called one of the guys at Co-op, can you come and help me unload a statue? And so they were here like a minute later. Like, that's small town living, right? And he helped me move it off. So
right on.
It's not going anywhere.
So this is the way the kids would travel Halloween night, right?
Yes, so I'll take that off, obviously. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might put a cauldron here. This is a tree of souls that I just made. I bought this dinky guy. It was the ugliest thing, but his mouth moves. And it stood about this tall, very cheaply made. But I had this stuff and this cape, and it gave me extra arms. And I just put it together, and it kept falling down, so I attached it to the tree. And I like it better there. So he talks. And it's just generic little things, but it's cool.
Oh, and look at,
And then I have my scary tree. I think the middle one works, but this one I've had for a long time too. It's been around with me for a long time. This one, the witch head broke off in the wind again. so she can't rock back and forth, so I just hung her up here. I try to keep everything that I have, never throw anything out of any of my props.
Well, it sounds like you reuse or
Yeah, I recycle them.
Yeah.
I use them in different ways.
Yeah.
And then this is a new guy. So this is my Werewolf Valley. I turned it down, but they're quite loud. So they're about half right now.
Oh, wow.
And this guy's sensor, I'll have to... I love werewolves.
They're one of my favorites
Yeah.
too. Like, you know, I think of Stephen King's The Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
You know. So, and who do we have right behind you here? That's
Oh, that's Barney. So the dogs howl when they howl.
Oh,
Just before you got here, everybody was howling. So all Halloween night, all they do is howl. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And then just a static prop. It doesn't move or do anything, but it's creepy at night. And then I'm gonna put like lightning bolt lights here, so it'll shine down and bolt it, and then give some clear pathway here too.
So how many kids did you have on Halloween last year?
Over 200.
Over 200?
Yeah. And the year before that, I think we had about 150. The first year we had about 80, and it's just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
So where do you, so how does it usually work? The kids will come to the front and do you give out treats there, or they have to come
They
to the
have to
back?
come through. So I'm going to see if I can find a volunteer just to hand out candies to the little kids in the front.
Yeah.
But they normally come in early. So and then if they don't want to come, the parents come through, and that's fun for them too. This one I've had, and you can't find it anywhere anymore. This is Reagan the Exorcist. I love The Exorcist, my favorite movie. So she's really loud too and very creepy. And I wanted to do an Exorcist display for the longest time. And then this came out this year. As soon as Spirit Halloween opened, I was there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's the only thing I went for. And this one projects a demon.
Oh, look at that, eh? Oh, Tricia.
It's so creepy. I have a projector that projects a skull up here that kind of just looks down.
Okay.
This one, I'm not sure why he's not, but this is my boogeyman. And his head shakes and his whole body shakes, and it's super creepy. So I think it's just the plug I might just have to change. It worked the other day. Oh, my witch. So she normally rocks, but again, wind, so we just have her sitting still. But her, again, Home Depot, the props keep getting better and better.
Better and better.
So like the face is really, really creepy. This is another one. And it makes like
a cauldron.
A cauldron.
And we just passed that big skeleton behind us.
Yes,
Like
that's
how high
an
is that?
inferno.
Like, that is huge.
And it's 12 feet.
12 feet.
So it just looks around, but it actually looks like it's looking at you, like it's following you.
Oh, with the
His eyes move around, and at nighttime it gives off a really cool orange, like it's on fire.
If you wouldn't mind standing beside there, just so I can get, so people get an idea of just how high that is, because that's
so, I put this one up by myself, and it takes me about, I don't know, an hour to get these guys up. The skeleton I usually do, but it's been up a few times, and it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's another one that's kind of a zombie that I might still get. I don't know yet. I don't know where I'm going to put anything, to be honest. This I just made the other day because I had an extra skeleton. And
You made that?
I made it, yeah.
That looks like something out of Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cryptid.
Yeah.
So it's just poly melted onto a skeleton, and I just attached longer arms. And that guy I've had for a long time too. And he just kind of moans and
Groans, and again,
tries
at
to
night,
get away
lots
from
of
this.
lights and things happening. And yeah.
This one is a creepy guy.
Oh, God. So the neighbors, what do the neighbors think of you?
Everybody loves it. Debbie's always like, just use my yard. If you get too big, use the yard. Don't worry about it. So I might end up taking her up on it because I'm going to run out of space. And then this is our last one. So I made this walkway so that they could just walk through without touching any of the props and knocking things over. We've had kids come through at the nighttime. And I don't even care. Like, as long as they're respectful, they can come through. I'm not worried about it. That's what it's for. I've always loved it. And I get so excited. I start planning around April, May for Halloween. I start ordering things, and by the time September comes, usually everything's here. And then I start planning my setup.
Oh, wow. Well, again, the amount of work that you guys put into something like this is phenomenal. So we just had that neat tour, and then the other thing that I want to touch base on is that you and Vern hop on a motorcycle and tour around town. Yeah,
with our costumes
on Halloween.
Yeah.
So just, I don't, is Vern a motorcycle nut?
Yes.
Or is it, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So he has his motorcycle license. I just got mine this summer.
Okay.
So last year I had a little electric scooter, and we just drove, when the kids were getting off of school, we just drove around town with our costumes on, and it was so funny. And the kids just loved it. So we're trying to keep our bikes out, and it looks like it's going to be a decent day.
It's looking like it's getting warmer. I know you and I have tried to connect a few times now between weather and stuff. It's been nip and tuck, but so your kids get right into it too?
Oh yeah. Well, I used to decorate the whole house, the whole inside of the house too.
Yeah.
And it's just me and Vern now, so we're empty nesters. All the kids are grown, they're all gone. We have grandkids that come and visit. But yeah, there isn't anybody in the house. And I used to host an annual Halloween party, and we'd do murder mystery and just so much fun. I've had a couple of really great Halloween socials. And
right on.
So that's the stuff I think moving out of Winnipeg to here was the hardest for me, because the social connection was kind of missing with that part. But the whole town loves it. Every time I come through.
And I was just talking to a couple, Karen and Davis out of Manitou, who have got kind of the same thing. They have roots in Manitoba, but they were gone from home for quite a while. Came back, and he's done kind of a similar thing to you.
Yeah.
And what a way to immerse yourself in a community.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's people that you would meet that you normally would meet, myself.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah.
So
trying to fight with my skeleton.
Yeah. Well, like I say, your skeleton was on the ground, and we were on the garbage truck and stopped and helped you put them back up. And so, but thanks very much for talking.
You're welcome.
To me.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, and happy Halloween.
Thank you. You too.
Well, thanks for watching. And as always, if you enjoyed that video, consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and my all-time favorite, leave some comments in the comment section below on the YouTube channel. What's been special for you for Halloween? Where are you watching this from? What's your favorite horror show? I think mine would be Aliens, the Aliens series, and then The Walking Dead, I think, are two shows that come to mind for me. In any case, as always, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.